Hello, friends and neighbors. Is this mic on? Happy Halloween. Wear my Halloween shirt, man. Halloween 3. Halloween 3, Season of the Witch. Only the initiated know that you should not wear your mask after midnight or at midnight. Okay, Google it. All right, guys, I'm going to get controversial. I'm going to get super controversial. I know you've been watching my proposition videos. It's like my 4th, I think. I'm really digging it. We're going to talk about Proposition 16. Okay, Proposition 16. This is controversial, all right? So I'm going to just get right into it. I'm going to give you the pros and the cons. I'm going to give you a little background of what 16 is all about. This is a social justice legislative initiative that's put on the ballot, completely created by the government folks, the elected officials. This is not a citizen proposition, okay? Now, this is going to amend, the attempt is to amend Proposition 209. That was a citizen proposition that was put on the ballot in the 90s, okay? And Proposition 209 was one of the most controversial ballot measures in the history of the United States and, of course, California. Rosa Parks was involved in it. Bill Clinton, Maxine Waters, you name it, big time. Pete Wilson, big time conservatives versus big time liberals were fighting over Proposition 209. Millions of dollars was poured into California from all over the nation to try to defeat 209. And essentially 209 was a proposition. You can Google it. It's a whole nother video or a podcast. And I really am interested in maybe getting into it. But 209 essentially ended the practice of the state of California using race or gender or other social factors in their determination if folks were going to be awarded grants or jobs or access to education, anything paid for by the state of California. So it ended that practice. Proposition 16 puts it back. It removes an initiative voted on by 55% of California voters. 55%, and it won by 10%, okay, on election day in the 90s. 55% of California voters voted for Proposition 209. So you know how California is super blue and liberal right now? It wasn't back then. Ronald Reagan came from California. He won California twice. He won California twice in 2 elections, back-to-back, 4 back-to-back years in a row. Ronald Reagan won, the most conservative king of conservatism in history, okay, in American history. Ronald Reagan won California. So Pete Wilson was the governor of California twice. Ronald Reagan was governor of California twice. California was a red state way back, but then the San Francisco liberals came in. My term, don't mean to offend you, but the San Francisco liberals came in and started winning elections, and now California is hella blue, okay? So anyway, Proposition 16 is to roll that back. So let me read it to you. I'm just trying to get through it really fast. There's too much to get into. The history is amazing, but I'm going to break it down for you so you can make an educated choice on what works best for you and what you think that California should do with their hiring practices or their awarding of grants and those kind of things and contracting. And major construction contracts were back in 209 were awarded after this. So the conservatives, the Republicans had an agenda, but it is what it is. So Proposition 16 allows diversity as a factor in public employment, education, and contractual decisions. It's a legislative constitutional amendment. So it essentially says that it will now permit the government again in California to make decisions and policies considering race, sex, color, ethnicity, or national origin to address diversity, okay, to make sure things are fair. So really, it's up to you as a voter to decide if you want to keep things the same or if you want to repeal 209 and change the will of the voters and go ahead and bring back the practice of considering those factors in awarding state grants. Now, it doesn't change the fact that it's illegal federally. This is not a federal, of course, it's just a state thing. It is illegal to discriminate federally. There's laws that cover that. California has a law. This is to cover just California state business and universities. Now, let me give you a little background. 209 was created, it was the brainchild of a conservative guy named Ward Connerly. You can Google him. But let me show you Ward Connerly. Oh, hold on, messed up. Okay. That is Mr. Connerly. He's like 81 right now. But back then, he was the brainchild. He was the guy that put this together. And there it is. And he was a very smart, educated, powerful, conservative guy. And so he was he brought everybody together, raised all sorts of money, and it became a national controversy. And people said 209 was discriminatory. And so the phrase affirmative action was the phrase that was used to describe what was going on before 209. So 209 removed affirmative action. And so that phrase hasn't been used in a long time, but that was essentially the phrase at the time to versus social justice being the phrase now. Okay, so there's the equator on that. Coming back again are kind of throwback things from in the past. So 209 will be gone if you vote yes on 16. There you go. Hopefully that helps you. Google it. Google about Ward Connerly was a really great friend of Pete Wilson, big time conservatives. Tons of money went into it, millions of dollars, and 209 won by 10%. At this point, most likely this will pass. This seems like something people think should be voted yes on, but it's really up to you. So hopefully that helps. And thanks for watching. If you appreciate this video, share it, like it, tell people about it. You guys, a few of you have shared my videos recently on the propositions. Really dig it. And hopefully you enjoyed this one on Proposition 16. Happy Halloween. My finish isn't working.